Walk into the Princesshay Shopping Centre in Exeter and you'll see a striking bright blue statue of a boy. It's been a mainstay of the city centre for years, but how well do you know the story behind it? This is all you need to know about one of the city centre's most iconic sculptures. Car left hanging from a hedge in head-on crash with Audi in Devon. When was it built and why? The Blue Boy statue in Princesshay Shopping Centre. The statue's origins date back to 1733. Modelled on George Wall, an ex-student of the St. John's Hospital School that used to be based on the High Street, the original stone statue was carved by John Weston. The original version was then placed in a prominent position on the wall of the school. It was commissioned to highlight the school was a bluecoat school, a type of charity school which was popular from the 16th century onwards. They were known as bluecoat schools because of the distinctive blue uniform worn by pupils. Blue is traditionally the color of charity, and the uniform often included a blue frock coat, yellow stockings and white bands. When the St. John's Hospital School was demolished, to make way for a post office, the Eastgate Arcade and a coffee house which were built in 1880, it's unknown what happened to the original statue. And dies after falling from Exeter climbing wall. Updates for new Blue Boys. The Blue Boy in Princesshay. When St. John's Hospital School was rebuilt in 1859, 4 new Blue Boy statues were built, this time made from cast iron. They were slightly smaller than the original, however, now standing at 3 feet 6 inches. 2 of the quartet had open backs, intended for standing against walls. Mystery surrounded what would happen when the school closed its doors in July 1931. The open-backed statues went to the builder's yard of Stevens & Son on Oakhampton Street. The other 2 were displayed closer to home in the hall of the Vicar's Choral between Cathedral Yard and South Street. The pair here were saved when the building was destroyed during the Blitz in 1942. They were then taken to Upton Farm, Clyst, St. Lawrence, a property that belonged to the St. John's Hospital Trust. The Princesshay Blue Boy statue. The Blue Boy in Princesshay, pictured in 1998, the one we see in Princesshay, has stood there since the post-war venue opened in the 1950s. It was one of the 2 statues that were saved from the ruins of the Vicar's Choral. It was removed for a short period when the new Princesshay was constructed, but returned in time for its grand reopening in September, standing proudly on a new plinth. The inscription underneath the boy reads, "This statue of a blue boy stood in the courtyard of St. John's Hospital School, founded on this site as a bluecoat school by the Chamber of Exeter, A.D. 1636 in the dissolved medieval Hospital of St. John the Baptist." The school continued until 1931 in the new buildings erected in 1859, which were destroyed by enemy action on May 4, 1942. The other 3 can be found at Exeter School, Butterfield Building, the original stone statue, the Maynard School, Royal Albert Memorial Museum. Sources: here.